In times of crisis, the voices of some neighbors are heard talking about lost land in the past. In addition, there are also the voices of the fifth column advocating multiculturalism as a defense against assimilation. That is why it is time for Slovenians to say a few words aloud about our past. We don't want a stranger, we don't give our own. History was written on the backs of small nations, so it was unfair to them. It is the duty of historians to tell people the real truth. It was written by Dr. Janko Grandpovkin in the book Birolo in Biela. For the last 1,000 years, the Slavic nations in Western and Southern Europe have been deprived of any opportunity to progress mentally because they lived in a time that was not in their favor. No names, like slaves and a girl, no public schools. In the schools that were, however, Latin and German were taught. However, the Slovenian nation has preserved its mother tongue to this day. My family has always lived here, wrote the poet Valentin Vodnik in his poem, who says that a Slovene is not an immigrant in his homeland, as the Italians and Germans moved, but have lived there since ancient times, before the Romans. When the first people found a place to live in Europe. Historical sources tell us that the settlement of Slovens in the present-day provinces began towards the end of the 6th century AD. The original Slovenia covered almost half of all the Eastern Alps. It included the upper basin of the Drava and Mura rivers, and the basin of all right tributaries of the Danube to Travna, and in the northeast a large part of Pannonia to Lake Balaton. In the south, the border ran from the gorge below Muzak in the vicinity of Pusavas, Venzone, across Humen, Jemoba, Tin, Artegna, Nîmes, Nemes, and Sedad to Ipolis, Kremen, Kormans, and Fara near Gradiska and to the surroundings of Stiven near Devin. Traces of the Slovenian village go all the way to Aquileia, Udine and to the west to Tilmont, Tagliamento. The Slovens did not have common borders with the Italians, except at grades. In the 15th century, the ethnic border between Slovens and Germans ran from the triple Slovene German-Italian, Friulian, border over Pontabla across the Karnik Alps, the Zli Valley, along Smohor up to the Zilu Alps, then along the ridge across Dobrak, past Vilark across the Drava Valley, to the heights along the eastern side of Lake Ozojsko, along the northern edge of the Solovska Basin to Magdalenska Gora, the Kapodmostism Company to Sfinjska Planina. Then the border went far to the north and turned again to the southeast, descending to the hills between Labadska Dolina and Silovska Kotlina, crossed the lower Labutnica, turned to the southern part of Glika, Spica, and further to Kozjek and after it to the northwestern end of Slovensk Gorish, them to Mura Podspiljim and along it to Ragona, then up Kluknica and along the Prekmur hills to Rabanad Monostrom, St. Gotthard, where it met the triple Slovene-German-Hungarian border. The Slovene-Croatian national borders were formed quite late. Today, the border of the Kajkavian territory runs from the Drava near Tiranovac past Virovitica to Jasnovac at the confluence of the Una and the Sava, and from there up the Sava and Kolpa to Karlovac. This border used to be much more pushed to the east, as all of Slavonia belonged to the Kajkavian dialect,